Lillian. Last night I had a dream, and I woke up and I was laughing so hard. I dreamed that you and I had a really great show, and that we were up here talking, and there was actually an audience, and a little girl came on stage, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And then she turned into a cat, and then she like crawled around my back, and I was like, I think this is a good sign.
Do you know that I don't like cats?
I don't like cats either.
Okay.
Are you allergic to cats?
No, I just don't like them. I think they're stinky.
I think they're kind of gross. Like
So,
they live in their own.
The kid turned into a cat and crawled around.
Yeah, like around the couch like this, and I was like, okay, get it off. I'm
Okay,
allergic.
yeah.
Get it off.
You're allergic?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like.
But is that a
mostly
sign
teacher
that it's going to be a good show? We're going to have a good show.
This is gonna be a great show.
Okay.
Kids morphing into animals.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's
How could that be bad?
So we're here to talk about fashion, food, and working out.
Fashion, food, fitness,
Everything
style.
you need
Yes.
with real life people and real talk is what we are going to call this.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Real talk.
real talk.
Hashtag making healthy happy.
Make
Happen.
it happen.
And happy.
Stylish empowerment.
Stylish environment. Oh.
Yeah. So, all right. So my name is Cara, and I'll start. All right.
Yeah.
And just a quick overview. What do you want to do?
Yeah. We don't really know that much about each other. Like, this is just a great idea.
Yeah. We just
So I'm gonna ask
we've
Kara
had-
some questions that I actually have for you.
yeah. We've had some meetings, some coffee, some wine, and which turned into us going, me too. Me too. I do that too, and I love that too. So we just have we have a lot in common, so we're gonna bring it to you. All right, shoot,
It's
what
like
you got?
it's like same passion, different
Creative
media,
outlet.
different avenue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I know that Kara went to Georgia Tech, and I know that she lives in Atlanta, and that she lives in Virginia Highlands, and she teaches at Flywheel, and she has 2 kids, and that's like,
Yeah.
those are the basics. But I have no idea like
The boys.
how you got, what did you study? Did you study health?
Yeah. Okay, so briefly, because it's so boring.
No, I want to hear. No, I want to hear
this is why
all
no
of it
one-
though,
why no one
because
do it.
I like to
Okay.
hear people's stories.
So I am the middle of 3 girls. I'm the middle child, the independent, perfect one. Just kidding.
Our dad.
sisters. I'm the middle one, the peacekeeper, the sensitive one, the one.
Oh, middle child.
Yeah. So there we
Yeah.
go. See me
Yeah.
too. Unbelievable. So I went to school following my older sister, who was a genius.
Me too.
A bookworm.
My sister's genius too.
She was a mechanical engineer at Georgia Tech, and I
Okay.
said, "Sure, that sounds fun. What's that?"
Oh,
Well,
that
it
sounds
didn't
awful.
happen to. I still don't even know what it is, and didn't last very long in that school because it didn't have any classrooms at the local pub in Buckhead, and that's not where my teachers were. And that's where I spent the majority of my time. So I was basically, I was just a social butterfly party girl. All right, so I actually flunked out of Georgia Tech, and I don't admit that to people.
Okay.
So,
This is real talk, y'all. Hashtag real talk.
I know, and big wound to the ego, right? Like dumb blonde from South Georgia, South Georgia, right? So thought that I was just like a failure, done. Smart, I'm smart. I am pretty. I am good enough. That was not where I needed to be. So lesson number 1 in life that I will teach my children, and I teach everybody that I talk to: do what you love.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself and don't follow someone else. So my sister is a brilliant engineer in DC and works for the Navy designing missile systems. She's just,
I don't know if that's inside information, so don't talk.
yeah, I know. She has super high clearance and, she's good. But, I just went
Our sisters need to meet.
in the opposite direction. So ended up going back to school and getting an accounting degree. And I love numbers and I love math and I'm very
Had no idea.
financial.
Had no idea.
Don't put me in front of a spreadsheet. I will get it done. I love it. I love financial modeling and investment banking. I did 5 years in investment banking. Made a killing, worked long hours, did really well, and I enjoyed it. But no one will be surprised if they know me. I was the office workout girl.
Oh, yeah.
So I would go around and critique people's diets, and not like unsolicited sometimes.
Yeah.
But I would get people to go work out, and we would go eat healthy, and we would talk about healthy foods, and So I was always organizing events, and I was just like, I could not sit at my desk for longer than 30 minutes without getting up, walking around the hall and talking.
That sounds like, I'm like, come back.
Yeah, I know. What's next? I mean, I was trapped. I felt like trapped in it.
Yeah. And tell me, did you play sports growing up?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
run track?
I did. Well, small town, South Georgia, 2 hours south of here, Cordia. Played. Yes. Town now. My dad was a football coach, and my mom was a gymnast all through college. My dad was a football player and a wrestler and a big golfer, but he was a football coach at in our small town. So the three of us girls, literally, I wanted to play football for my dad until he finally told me I was a girl. And but we played golf, and I played softball and cheerleading, competitive cheerleading. But I chose softball over cheerleading eventually. Yeah. We had to pick. Our small town, we didn't have soccer, we didn't have swimming, and so we didn't have volleyball. It was basically softball or cheerleading. So we.
These are kind of extreme.
Yeah, I know. So and I was on softball, and I ran track for a little bit, but I had more team atmosphere. I liked group. Which is why I like group fitness.
I totally pin you as like this all-star track like person that like won medals.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've got an Olympic gold medal at home, but I just don't talk about it.
Okay, well we're definitely gonna need to talk about it.
No, I think in hindsight, you could always look back and go, God, if I had channeled all of my energy to one sport, like track. I mean, I was in 5th grade. I won the fastest white girl in our town, and
hey, that's something.
Holler.
Yeah.
Those black girls can run.
Yeah, sure.
So, I was definitely fast. I could have been great at that. So, however, I know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Shoulda, woulda, woulda. So, I go to college, but the thing is,
and I thought you played, like, soccer in college or something. I don't know. I just had, like, this, like, getting to know each other here.
I know. Yeah, it's not always what it looks like on the outside.
Yeah.
So on the inside, no. Let me tell you with the shocker. I'll tell you what really I was. I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day for about 8 years. Yeah.
Starting
when?
Look
at her face.
Oh my gosh.
When I was 16 or 17.
Oh my gosh. Well, my mom is like the healthiest person on the planet, and she smoked not a pack a day, but she smoked for 15 years. Yeah. 15 to 30. Yeah. And my dad was like, if you want to have kids, you gotta stop smoking.
I met my husband and he said, it's a deal breaker. I was like, ooh, that these cigarettes have been here as my best friend for 6 years that I was full on like they were there when the guys left the bar, everybody left, no one was there, my cigarette was there. Yeah. It became my little emotional connection. I had that. I bartended. I bartended, so I was up all night. I was drinking and partying and smoking, and so not a good mix with like collegiate sports.
No, not so much.
So I went and back now I look back and been like, man, if I had gone and done a good sport and like been there, but everything's done for a reason. So
totally. This is a way better story.
Afterwards,
way more shock factor for sure.
There's some fun stuff. It'll come out later. But I went in. So I investment banking. Fast forward. Miserable. Come home every day. I met my husband. 4 years into it, and then I would come home to we were about to go on a date, and he would come to my condo in Buckhead, and I would be crying, and he was like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm miserable. I hate my office. I hate my job. I hate what I do. I don't feel like it's what about me. It's nothing. I don't feel like I'm connected to it. I don't like it. I hate it. And there are some people that can take a job and 9 to 5 it and check it off, and I envy those people. I do. At this point, I did. But I cannot do it. I'm very much, everything just flows into the next for me. Everything flows together. I can't separate out job versus play versus family. So I need to be working for myself somehow, doing something that, like, I'm a big helper of others. I'm that middle child people pleaser. Like, I love to help other people. And so I went into, he helped me save up, showed me how I could save up some money, and I quit my job. And
I'm going to need to learn that first skill.
I know. The first skill. But I have to say, I was very blessed in that he was like, he's a little bit older than me, and he worked for himself and had some money, and we were not engaged, we were still dating, so it wasn't like, oh, then I'm going to get engaged, and I'm going to quit my job, and I'll just get fat and stay at home, But he did, I did trust him, and I did respect him because he had done it for himself, and I did have a plan. So I got like a big bonus. In investment banking, you get big bonuses, and that's how I kind of saved. But anyway, I did that. I saved up before it, and I quit. But I found a job managing a gym in Buckhead that paid significantly less than I
could
made.
imagine.
And it was very hard to explain that to my parents, that as a 25, 26-year-old, you still try to please like a child.
Totally.
And you still want them to be proud of you.
Absolutely.
So it's hard to explain, okay, bye, impressive job
Yeah.
in the workforce in corporate America and all of your money that you spent on me with the college. And hello, managing at a gym and babysitting people, basically.
Yep.
But I did that, and it's the best decision I ever made in my life. I was extremely happy there. I got engaged, 6-7 months later, and got married after that. But of course, that's what happens, is like usually.
Well, sometimes not.
But so I got into the fitness world, and that's where it started. All at the same time, right before that, though, this is where I started getting. I know, that's interesting. So my husband, before he would engage to me, while we were still dating, he's a deal breaker. So I said, okay, and I'm a person that does something 110% all the time, everything. So when I said, okay, I'm going to quit smoking, I'm going to quit cold turkey, I'm going to quit smoking. So I quit bartending, I quit hanging out at the bars, I quit hanging out with the people. I had to get away from my younger sister even, who I lived with. And I was like, I'm sorry, Amy, it's nothing against you. I just got to I can't be around you for a while. I couldn't drink. I was Diet Coke coffee heavy. I stopped the Diet Coke. I had a coffee, but I stopped drinking Diet Coke at the same time because they associated them with each other. And and I just started doing triathlons and adventure races. So I was like, there you go. I replaced smoking with fitness. And man, did I ever take it. I went and did triathlons and adventure races up in North Georgia and running races to the point where I got stress fractures and I kind of overtrained a little bit. So I've been to extremes there.
I'm out of breath just talking about it.
I know. Going back to the gym, I got Pilates certification. I love the core. I love the body. I love learning about it, and I felt like that was one of the best things to learn about the inside out.
Yeah.
Further into a nutrition certification, as I started realizing that food played such a bigger role than I was an exerciser. My relationship with food and exercise was built on eat a big pizza, go run 10 miles.
Yeah,
I would just exercise it off, and I did that for years, fighting, like always feeling bad about myself, always feeling like the decision I made was bad, and then always feeling like, where am I going to get the time to run 10 miles today?
Yeah.
So it's just always punishing yourself with exercise. So it kind of makes liking exercise and seeing it as a hobby and a fun place to be, more of a task. So that if you don't get it done, then you feel bad about yourself and beat it up. Okay. So I had to change that relationship by learning more about food. So anyway.
And did you mostly learn about food from books and self-teaching and the nutritional coaching stuff, or did you go in not knowing anything and then you started the training?
I went in not knowing. I went in knowing a lot more than probably the average person, because I read the clean eating and the women's health magazines and all of those for fun all the time. Like I don't own our magazines on our coffee tables. They're just a little bit different. I don't own a stylish magazine or a home decorating magazine. I don't care less. The other ones I would read cover to cover and absorb the information. About all diet books I've ever read, the Atkins, the Mediterranean, the everything, the Belly, I've read them all. So I went in with that information, and then helped me to be able to apply science I was taught to food. But once I learned that, I still didn't practice it great until after I had a child, and I was in my I was in 28. How old was I? I was in 28, and at the late 20s, your body just starts changing.
Yeah.
And so I had a child, and your body just changes naturally at that point, and I had hypothyroidism, so I have that going on, and you too. Don't tell me that, you too.
I've been tested for a gazillion things.
Okay. But so I was just struggling with with fatigue and bloating and everything, and so then I finally changed my diet and applied what I learned, and when I applied it to myself, was the first time I realized this is real.
This
I
is
would
magic.
never have been able to coach it or talk about it and help people get there if I had never truly applied it myself. And then you can't practice, and you have to practice what you preach. So I applied it myself, and ever since then, it's been,
Guns out, suns
Oh my
out. Guns out,
gosh.
guns out. Exactly.
guns out, and feeling great and energy and everything. So, I mean, that's where I am now. So I'm so lucky everything's happened the way it has. I've gotten to where I got out of managing the gym. I found myself back in the accounting department at the gym, dug back there, cornered back. So I member services and accounting is bills, and I was like, okay, got to get out to the other side. I am a people person. I need to be in front of people. So I found this job at Flywheel and started teaching, and realized my passion for just teaching people just came back, and I'm happy where I am. So health coaching, nutrition coaching, speaking, talking, meeting people, and teaching fitness. I do it all. So that's my long story.
No, I love the long version.
Okay.
I'm really into hearing about people's childhoods and what they were like as children, because I think that a lot of times we spend a lot of time being like, man, I was so happy as a kid, or I was so this as a kid, or I used to do this, it was so easy. And I love to talk about how ridiculous I was as a child too.
Yeah.
So what did you want to be when you were little? Were you like, I want to be a
I can still speak to that.
Yeah.
I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I mean, don't we all do that? My dad does that all the time. He's like, well, when I grow up,
Yeah.
Like, all right, Dad, jump on it.
Shoot, there's another life you're living. When I was little, I wanted to be a superstar. I wanted to be, seriously. I just want to be a superstar. I only told my mom once. I remember this, and I don't know if she will ever, but I remember she was asking us, of course, you ask every once in a while what you want to be, and my sister wanted to be an architect, an astronaut, and all that good stuff. And
so many numbers.
I know. And I wanted to be Cara, is what I told her. And I love my answer.
Not to get sentimental, but that is really incredible.
Yeah. I remember saying, I want to be Cara. And she was like, well, you gotta be something, you gotta do something with Cara. You gotta do something. What are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. And so I just wanted to be me ever since I was little. I just wanted to be, what could I do to be me and be paid for it? I didn't know money had to follow. But, so I just want to be me. And, it got specific more into high school. I told my dad I wanted to be an actress. But in small town South Georgia, it is the biggest dream. You too? Gonna get closer.
Sorry.
Every time we say me too, we're gonna morph into the same person. I wanted to be an actress, and so coming from a teacher, coach, lawyer, my mom's a lawyer, family, it wasn't that was poo-pooed on or not achievable. It was just out of this world. That just isn't. It wasn't really realistic for them to hear that and then want to send their child to. They're very studious parents, very smart parents, and
mine too.
so it was not an actress. Oh, so you want to go float in there and
you want to go wait tables?
Yeah,
sweet.
You want to live off of us forever. So that was but I still do. I don't want to be an actress. I don't think that adds nothing against actors and actresses, but I just don't.
It's
for
just
me,
not Cara.
It's not me.
It's not Cara.
And so I still want to somehow have a voice in front of a lot of people that helps people in some way, or entertains, or works them out, makes them sweat. And that's what I'm doing. I'm gradually getting there. I would still love to be a fitness model.
Yeah.
And,
girl, you can totally do that. You can do that right now. We're gonna connect. You two people.
Yeah.
Who do you know?
And I would love to do more speaking. So, and I think this is fun. We're gonna come back. We'll be here. We'll be back.
We love this.
And I want people to call,
email and
call
Facebook
and
message
ask
us,
and tell us
anything.
what to talk about. That we can
totally.
address. So let's get back. Should we get to you, or should we do a new episode? Let's get to you. It's the introduction one. This will be the longest one.
Yeah.
We'll keep them shorter and sweeter so you can watch them at work on your lunch break.
Yeah.
When you eat your made from home food. That's right. So, Lily and Charles.
Yeah, I do really well with questions.
Okay. So where are you from?
And that's all you have to say.
There you go.
Don't take much to crack me open.
Gosh, she said it's wall.
I know. I'm
can't
just
get
like
around
really sensitive and really introspective and shy. I am from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I have, my parents are amazing. They still live there. And they're very studious. My dad is a physician. My mom has her master's in speech pathology. But my mom, I've seen my mom do like a lot of different things. And right now she actually has like it's called tablescaping and like small gardens and like really like luxurious, like small garden places. So she does that. She, this all is relevant about me, I promise.
Yeah, no, but so that's very interesting.
Yeah, she's like the coolest person on the planet. So is my dad.
Oh, love that.
They're really amazing. My mom was a speech pathologist, and then she had a fashion line called Virginie Young, and it was in Saks and Bindels in the 80s. And I actually did a talk once, like way out in South Georgia at a consignment shop, and I'm like flipping through, and I find this jacket. It's like this awesome blue French jacket, and it said Virginie Young, and I was like, oh my god, this is my mom's jacket!
Oh my gosh.
I was flipping out. I was like, everyone take a picture of me.
That
this
is
my
so
mom's jacket.
cool.
I know, it's super cool. So my parents, you know, like basically my whole life have said like, you do whatever you want. Whatever you want. You know, like there are many different ways. My dad got into law school before he, you know, got into med school. And, you know, it's like your choice. Like everything is your choice. You get to decide what you get to make of yourself. So that was very much like in my head and in my brain. I wanted to be Whoopi Goldberg when I grew up.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with her. I know there are a couple barriers to get into that point. A couple, you know.
Have to go under the knife a little bit.
Yeah, do a little Michael Jackson action reversed. But I loved her, and I just thought she was hilarious, and she made people smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And I used to write to her.
No way.
And they sent me a book once that was like a book that Whoopi Goldberg had written, and I remember she signed it, and I remember being like, yo, Whoopi Goldberg signed this book. And I remember someone being like, I don't think she signed that. I think that was her assistant. And I was like, what?
Oh, why would somebody tell you that?
Rude. So rude to like a 7-year-old. I was in plays. I played sports. I was on the swim team. I like played softball some. But I did a lot of acting. Like my parents were like, okay, this girl needs to be like in a place where she can be really loud and it's okay and it's acceptable and people will like think that it's good. So I was in a lot of plays, community plays, church plays, and then I found out that someone that was related to one of my aunts had been living in LA and waiting tables for like a really long time, and that she was an actress, and I swear that like crushed me. That was it.
How did you find this information out? Was this some
You know,
plan?
I found no, because my parents were like, "Oh my gosh, you're the best one!
Yeah,
You're awesome!" And like all of my acting coaches were like, "Oh boy, like, you know, Lillian, we can't keep giving you the biggest roles. Like, you know, like this is unfair to the other kids, kind of thing." And I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Wow,
I bet you were so good. I would love to see somebody. Oh, would you like to see a little Lillian?
Oh my God,
on stage.
it's like dynamite.
Look at me.
But I loved it, and so then I cheered, and I was a horrible cheerleader. Like I was so bad. I was on it my 8th grade year, and then my 9th grade year. My 10th grade year, I made varsity, and I went to a big public school, and I remember the girls being like, well, "You're just loud. It's the only reason you made varsity, you know, and you're, you know."
Pretty face.
They were like, they just feel sorry for you because you're a nerd, and I was a nerd, like
Oh, really?
nerd. Yeah. But I was a cheerleader, like, you know, I was a cheerleader, and I also took really hard classes and was super serious about my academics, and thought my parents always made it really cool to be really nerdy.
Yeah.
Like we just had this awesome culture of like, hey, it's cool to watch documentaries on Friday nights.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just like
That's
what
awesome.
they created for us.
Yeah.
And so I have this older sister, 3 years older, and a younger brother. And right now, if I told you what they were doing, you'd want to like X out of it and try to go find them on YouTube because they're like super rad. My sister is an attorney, and my little brother is not so little anymore. He's like, oh, look at pictures of him now. He's living in Europe, and I'm like, oh, I'm so old. But he has taken, 3 semesters of Chinese, and my sister has lived like literally in Calcutta, in Kosovo, in Slovenia, in the Congo. They're both single. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my sister's kind of single. I don't know, kind of dating. My brother's a ladies' man. Sorry, ladies, but you got to know, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You can't be that good looking, man. So anyway, I went to school, went to college, went to Wofford for 2 years. Have you heard of Wofford? Mm-mm. It's in South Carolina. It's like an SOC school. Yeah, it's like 1,000 kids. And my sister went to, it's a liberal arts. Yeah. My sister went to Agnes Scott College, and I applied and got 3 scholarships. And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to a women's college. Are you out of your mind? And I used to go stay there with her, and I'd be like, this is so great for you.
Yeah.
Like, for you.
Yeah.
I need men. I have got to have some men in my life, and I'm not just talking about old professors either. And I just, thought that was the craziest concept in the world. Why would you go to school with the same sex? Like, no, ew. So I went to Wofford, and I loved, the first month, and then I was miserable, and I was super depressed. Mm. And after my first semester, I came home from Christmas break, and I just cried and was rude and mean and angry, and felt kind of like I did in high school, that I really fit in on the outside, and that I was from an affluent family that loved me and cared about my education, and I was thin and I was tall and all of these things, but I was just so goofy and weird and nerdy and loud and just me, and that was not cool, and I got into the best sorority, and I got into my teachers loved me, but I was every time I try to be me, it's thwarted and it's not okay, and
were you conforming to the people that you wanted to impress or be
no,
accepted
people
by?
used to stop me and be like, why are you wearing that? Or what are you doing? Or why do you listen to that? Or why are you trying? Or they thought I was trying to stand out, and I was like, oh, I'm just being me. This is none of this is weird to you. So I went through that for 2 years, and finally I was so depressed. I got really sick, and I didn't know that I had mono, and I had mono for a while. And so my dad came with my older brother to come pick me up, take me home for a weekend, and I never went back. And I dropped out, and I took incompletes, and my parents were like, you cannot go back there. You're not happy. And I was like, where would I go? And I ended up at Agnes Scott.
There you go.
Where I said I would never go. Where I said I would never, ever go. But I needed a women's environment that was empowering and that was loving and that really fostered unique, special characters. We're all unique, special characters. And so that was really awesome for me, and I started doing all the things that I loved, and I kind of gotten taken care of all my prerequisites and stuff that I wasn't that good at, and I could focus on being a women's studies and French double major, and I would go down to Octane right down the road and have a glass of wine and read on Friday night.
When you like what you're studying,
oh gosh,
for me, nutrition, and for that, when you like what you're studying, the books on my bedside table are not 50 Shades of Grey. Even though I'd like to read it, but what I choose are healing foods.
Yeah.
The encyclopedia.
Yeah. Words.
So it helps when you like it. That's awesome.
And so I really, I lit up, and I got back to kind of the roots of who I was. And fitness always stayed in this. I cheered and I played lacrosse in high school, and I didn't start lacrosse till later in life. And when I found that, and I found this uplifting team sports, cheerleading can, be a little, and I just loved it. I loved being outside. I loved connecting with people. I loved that I wasn't the very, very best one, but I wasn't horrible at it. And so I started out okay and ended up really great at it, and that felt really good. Yeah. And I started kind of trusting women more that way. So yeah, it's beautiful.
When did you graduate?
Not that long ago.
Okay.
After I graduated, and so what happened was I knew that I was going to study abroad, but I had transferred, so I had an extra semester. So I kind of finished out with my class in 2010. That was my last semester on campus. And then I went abroad and lived in Paris, and loved it, and took an art history course, and kind of like hung out. Learned, but lived with a family, and I was dating someone super seriously, and started blogging. That was my first time that I started blogging, and this whole time, I had been bent on either going into public health or nursing, specifically midwifery. So I started my prerequisites for nursing school, actually, and when I would tell people that, they'd be like, nursing, interesting. Drama,
okay.
Yeah.
Role as a nurse in a sitcom?
Are you going to be like in the ER, like
Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I really want to take care of people. The midwifery thing was really important to me. Not that like my mom had used a midwife or anything, but I'd done my whole senior seminar on women in impoverished communities and underprivileged communities that really needed like excellent prenatal care, more so than say you or I would, just because they're already under so much stress, and that just spoke to me. I was like, good, these women need help,
like, they're birthing babies.
Yes.
I mean, God, don't even get me started. I would adopt every baby in this whole world, and my husband knows to not take me on a mission trip. I mean, God, take a garden and prenatal care to every indie community. Yeah. That's my dream.
Prenatal care. Hey, girl, can I have it? Yeah. Hey, Oprah, are you listening?
Garden.
My mom can help with that. So I did this, and I started volunteering at Community Advanced Practice Nurses, which is an incredible, organization downtown Atlanta. And I just loved it. Loved being with children. I loved, making kids laugh after they had shots, and just thought it was beautiful. And, I described that to people. And I loved working with women and being like, hey, I'm here. Tell me what's going on, and they just were like, you are one crazy white girl, and I didn't really feel like I made huge connections with them unless I saw them over and over again, and they just got that that's just how I am. So I did that, and then I volunteered at Grady, and then I had a midwifery apprenticeship at Grady, and was continuing to do my prerequisites after college, and then I went to Africa on a mission trip, and medical mission trip, and deep down inside my heart, I was like, I know that I'm not a science person. It's going to take me a long time to do this nursing degree. I'm going to have to practice nursing, which I'm pretty sure I don't want to do. And then I'm going to have to go back to school for midwifery. And then I'm going to have to be awake in the middle of the night by the time I'm like in my late 30s, and I'm going to want to have my own children. And I'm going to be delivering other people's children in the middle of the night. And I just started really thinking, like, is this my gift? Is it science? Is it, yes, there's a lot of care in it, but you kind of know how to do that science stuff. I'm not a science person.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, I felt like everyone's going to think I've given up, and I've just, quit, and I am not good enough, and that kind of stuff. But really, it was like I came home to me. I came home to what I love, and people started asking me to talk to, women about being themselves and doing what they love, and I love clothes, and I didn't study fashion, and I don't really read fashion magazines. I don't really read the articles. I just look at the pictures and then throw them away or recycle them or whatever. I focus mostly on specialty kind of sizing. My sister's over 6 feet tall. My aunt's like 5'1". Women with really big chests, women with no chests. Even like size 13 women's shoes. Like, where do you find them that are not tennis shoes? So that was super rewarding for me. Still is, and now I'm on the kind of a speaking circuit, and I told Cara recently that I saw Jillian Michaels speak, and I mean, I literally just sat there and I cried because she basically was doing. I was like, I can do that right there. I can stand up and talk to people about kind of just throwing away the bullshit,
And that's what I feel like we're going to bring here, and what we hope our goal is to be. That there are the people, we're not going to recreate the wheels. There are the people out there that are doing the medical trips, that are the doctors, that are the nurses and the midwiferys. And there are the people out there that are writing the diet books and are the dietitians, the nutritionists, and they're creating P90Xs and CrossFits all over the place. There's all this stuff. Okay, so what we are, and what I feel like we are, I mean, well, I did it too. I struggled trying to say after college or after I quit the investment world, banking world, I was like, I've got to find that box that society is going to approve of to put myself in, right? I got to have a title above what I am. So am I going to be a counselor? Am I going to be a personal trainer? Am I going to be a nutritionist? And then in that case, I got to go back to school and get these letters behind my name.
Yep.
And so I've got to do all this stuff. And I'm really, like, what I think we bring is so unique is that, no, it's not a gold mine, and, not like, in that box and we don't have the letters, but we have studied enough about all of the stuff that we're extremely passionate about to bring it in a real way, in a real layman's term, applicable way to people's lives. I know about every diet plan out there, and like every personal trainer, every kind of way to train. I know enough about it all to give a good basis overview of it all, and to how to apply it to your life and who needs it and who doesn't need it.
Right. Yeah.
And so same with fashion with you. It's like you just got this gift. I have a gift for speaking to people about it. And I have a passion for it. I really honestly, where it's coming from is me wanting to help people control what they put in their mouth and control and understand food and understand fitness so it's fun and live and just be free to live and not so chained to what next diet trend's coming out, what next book they should follow and what their coworkers are doing or their family's doing. And then for you, it's like people don't have to shop at Saks. They don't have to spend their entire budget on fashion. What I see you doing with people is saying, here's what you got, wear it this way, own it. And it's so much more about the empowerment.
Yeah.
You've got the style. You can help people in their closets. She can come and see your closet on FaceTime and turn around and show you what to put. You always look so great, but it's not like
it's not rocket science.
It's not like $500 shirts.
No.
So, but the biggest thing I see in you is that smile, that head up, and it takes a combination of eating the right stuff and working out to feel good about your body, dressing it, holding it up high, and loving it. No matter what, tall, short, broad shoulders, little, no boobs, big boobs, dress for the body you have, treat it well, eat it well, feed it well, work it out well, own it, and love it. And I mean, you don't have to be a supermodel, you don't have to be size 0. It can happen with everybody. It can happen with everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like what we are going to talk about throughout the series that we're going to do with the show is just real life questions, real life stuff. We're going to get into what we eat each day. We're going to get into what she thinks about. I'm going to ask her what you think about when you wake up in the morning, how you decide.
Cat's running behind me.
How she decides what she's going to wear. How does she decide, that she's going to put on these bracelets? I mean, I just look at my bracelets and I'm like, I look at this and for me, I go, okay, well, because I know this was probably at a store by itself, but to me it looks so much better with all of this. So how did you decide how to put the leather with so we're getting into this. There's a lot I want to know about her.
We'll do a wrist bling section. Don't worry.
And then I can show you the best sweat-proof watches.
There you go. Accessories you really need.
One for your workout.
And I feel like, Cara, this show is a lot about liberation, and it's a lot about not that we are the end all, be all, say all, but there are so many resources out there for fashion, which I'm not really into that word, for styling, for food, for exercise, and how do you make that good for you? And that's why we want to hear from you and hear what your specific questions are. And even, write in for your mom, write in for your niece, write in for your best friend who doesn't have the courage to do this, and
Yeah.
take a stand for that person, and really take a stand for who they are in your life and how you can make a difference for them.
Give us a comment, a question, anything. Nothing's dumb. Nothing.
Nothing.
And this is what we want to do, is we don't want to be the experts giving you these technical,
broad,
Wikipedia.
overall,
big,
yes.
Okay, well, you need this supplement a day and this vitamin. I mean, give us some real stuff. I mean, what do we want? What do you want to know, really? What if you were sitting here right now? What would you ask me? I mean, ask me what I eat for breakfast. Ask her what she eats for breakfast. Grab your juice.
No.
We did not plan this. I came in the door. We sat down. We each have a glass bottle of something. Something is in mine and something is in hers. And cheers.
Cheers.
Real talk.
All
All
right.
right. This is going to be fun. We'll
Doing
see
it.
y'all next time. That
Oh,
little button.
where's the mouse?
It's right there.
We're gonna get better at this.